ambulance. Hear me now. If I Aero Barrow could talk today, I got something to say. Why? Raise your flag, but open your eyes. If I Aero Barrow had to speak today, what I see would break my heart away. Nothing changed, just a mirror frame, same corruption, just a brand new name. My people, I'm sad to say, you reaping all your soul today. The pride and industry fade away, and now we fighting to find we way. Life at two extremes, I tell you so. Hope and hunger, high and low. Poverty mixing with champagne flow, but poor man still can't grow. Suffering and celebrating, starving while them still partaking. Nations rise, time to break that spell. Stop showing contempt for yourself. Say you can't change when thieves lead the way. Corruption sweet when give us pay, and government take what poor man lay. Taxation high like mountain peak, while schools and roads still spring a leak. Them flying high, them living sleek, but poor man vice still 2 weeks. So tell me now, who you blaming? Who make the system shaming? Them raise the dead, destroy the cane. No migration needs the pain. You will lead us like the clay, and now me are playing God today. Talking sweet but turn away from the people who make she laugh, she bend and smile she wear like she care, but she can't share. You think she love, you think she fair, or she trying to run you from here? Errol watching from up above. Budgeons where the unity and love we used to build, we used to fight. Now we just beg and say alright. Let we rise again, take back pride, build Barbados from inside. And Errol gone back to sleep again. Errol, but I pray next time I wake, my people go rise, rise, I say. Bimshar still alive. Boy, you sell it. Boy, you sell it. Bimshar still alive. We just need to revive. Bimshar still alive. We just need to revive.
What time is this bus supposed to come?
I don't know, man. It's always late. Wait!
Seats are moving. Seats are moving. One DLP. Seats are moving. Seats are moving. Seats are moving. With the code, determination in more. Young guns rise up. We carrying the load. Future in we hands. Barbados we see. Seats and moving. Jump on the DLP. Seats and moving. There we push the bus. One DLP. Moving on.
The scores table move. The scores table is not the domino table. This is village cricket. Tanti Murder is best. The scores table is not. Whoever them is, man. Never pocket, never party. The world's greatest. Yellow is fraud.
I am a mountain. I am a tall tree. Oh, I am a swift wind, sweeping the country.
40 ini keluar sendiri.
Where is Fandialos again? I'm Jamal Sandiford, and this video is a Spirit of the Nation video. This video is a video of me showing you, the people of Barbados, how you can do Count Keys. Because Count Keys is part of our nation. This month is November, our month of independence, and that's why it's called the Spirit of the Nation. So today I'm going to be showing you how I young person learn how to make Count Keys the way Grand talks.
Good evening, my DLP family, and welcome to DLP TV. It is so good to be amongst you again. You would have seen several videos from the activities that we would have had during the course of the week. We would have visited Edgecliff yesterday in St. John, and we would have had a wonderful time. The leader, comrade leader, was there with several candidates, and we immersed ourselves in what we would say is a very cultural and very fun day with the people of Edgecliff. We want to thank them for hosting us and having us there, and we hope that we'll have many more of those when we take the government. Today we want to speak about the youth. Our topic is the youth are talking, are we listening? My name is Damien Fanus, and I'm glad to be here to have this topic, in a sense, expounded upon with other excellent individuals who themselves are young people and candidates. What I will ask them today, though, is that they take off their political hats and more speak from a youthful perspective, as they themselves would have been young people first before they became candidates. So tonight, to my right, Mr. St. Andrew, Ramon Goodman, candidate for St. Andrew.
Good night to all the DLP people, DLP family. It's a pleasure, as usual, to be here. I actually saw some nice videos there just now. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be at the event. You will find out why very, very shortly. But I want to say a special good night to the people of the St. Andrew constituency as well. Good night to you.
All right, and to his right, Mr. Bridgetown himself, Dale Rowe, candidate for the city of Bridgetown. Welcome, Dale.
Good evening, Fanus. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, Ramon, I see that you had some good fun up with you over the weekend.
Yes, sure.
Yeah. Edgecliff was real good, man. I watched Comrade Leader play some cricket as well.
Cricket.
And go tennis.
At some point we'll discuss the runs being scored, the runs that weren't scored.
For sure.
Right, so gentlemen, as I said earlier, let's take off the political hats. Yes, you all are professionals and you all are politicians, you all are candidates. But tonight we want you to speak from a normal human perspective. You know, as you would go through, you know, the day of being a Barbadian citizen, what you were seeing amongst the youth. The youth are talking. We ourselves, when we went to Edgecliff yesterday, Dale, you could speak to this. We would have spoken to several young people who would have asked and said that they would like to see certain programs implemented. And we will get to that in due course, right? Because they would have said, well, listen, we want to see this, we want to see that, we want to see these things implemented. And we listen and we realize that these things are actually missing in not only in Edgecliff, but where is St. John and in Barbados itself. So, as a young person, are you seeing that there is a lack, or should I say, a lack of opportunities, a lack of programs for our young people? And how do you think it affects you as a young professional?
All right. So the event yesterday in Edgecliff, when we got there, you know, I saw a couple of my old school mates, and it was quite interesting to hear their perspective from, you know, coming from the country.
Yeah.
You know, and when I heard those young men yesterday, nothing is different from what I'm hearing in the city.
Got you.
So, how is it that we have we have a quote-unquote representative for St. John?
Yeah.
And that particular pastor don't have street lights. Lights on the pastor. Actually, pastor don't have no lights. So how can these young guys, you know, get involved in sports, like sports, football, cricket, the same road, tennis? Because, you know, when you set out to start playing cricket or any sport, 1 hour turn into 4 hours going down the line, especially in the heat of the moment, if there's a good competitive spirit going on. So here are these young guys, the cry is the same. Lack of opportunities, employment, underemployment, and for sure, you know, crime is a big issue. We have young men, I met young men every day. I meet people every single day, and when you take some time to actually engage those persons on what they're going through, and you really take that time to listen, so many of our young people employed, but their side hustle is selling drugs. It's not because these young people want to sell drugs, or these young people want to gamble, or these young people want to get involved in criminal activities. But with, you know, the way how the country is going, lack of opportunities for our young people. You know, I say, you know, when persons leave the university, you know, as opposed to those persons, you know, perfecting their craft here, persons have to leave and go overseas.
And that's interesting that you said that they were asking about opportunities and things that they can get involved in so that they can probably make a dollar, because as you said, it's not like the young people want to sell drugs, because the first thing that they came to us and told us was like, man, there's things that we want to do. We want the posture to be improved. We want lights because I want to start at the gentleman that you were talking to. He said Zico. Correct. Hey, again, name check Zico. How you doing, Zico? Zico said that he wanted to start a youth football team.
Correct.
You know, and this is an individual that works. He works, has probably his own responsibilities and stuff, but he wants to give back to the community. But the opportunity and the resources are not there, because when we went on the pasture on Edgecliff, it needs some work, to be honest. It needs some work. It needs to be, the surface needs to be regrained, I guess, flattened, and add some more lights, maybe a pavilion, or even maybe some proper seating, bathroom facilities, changing rooms, anything along those lines to help those gentlemen to carry on not only a practice session or two, but competition as well. So we really need to call out the representative for St. John, more than likely, yes.
Yeah, I agree 100%. The reason why I will say that, because yesterday, that entire event was planned by committee members from in the area that just wanted to do something to engage and bring the community together. Yeah. So, you know, Demas would have been one of the guys that spearhead the whole cricket.
Shout out to Demas.
Yeah, shout out to Demas, you know.
Brilliant time.
Yeah.
Brilliant event.
And when we were there, this is why young people do not trust politicians. Yeah. Because when we were conversing with the young people, I know for a fact that the current MP have not visited that area in a very long time.
Got you.
And it is poor. If I was the MP for that area, and then I went there yesterday just to handle 3 small trophies, I would feel shame on myself. Reason being, we saw so much talented young men. Yeah. We have not seen a bathroom facility yet.
You said bathroom facility.
There was a chemical toilet. Yeah. So the community persons that put together that event had to rent a chemical toilet.
All right.
So then the current MP, I think he's in charge of youth development.
And sports.
Youth development and sports. But yet still, I have not seen any kind of youth development or sporting programs in Edgecliff. I know those persons personally. I know those persons from the time I was about 16 years old. So I'm basically saying that I will feel shame as the MP that over that portfolio to realize that I have so much young people talented in football. However, when these young guys go and play football, you know, they gotta use the bush for the washroom. They gotta run and go back home. So let me be real. What are you saying to our young people? Build a shanty. Let me sit down underneath a tree, smoke weed, drink alcohol, and get involved in because the Bible. I grew up hearing the saying, "Devil is find work for idle hands."
Got you.
So all we are saying, for me, that's the message I'm getting. That's the message I received when I got there, because the MP for that area is not doing anything. But he only come to give 3 small trophies, but trophies cannot help the young people.
Got you. Ramon,
Yes, sir.
you would have been missing in action, but you had a good excuse because you were doing your groundwork in St. Andrew.
That is correct.
St. Andrew would have had their carnival yesterday,
Yes,
right?
St. Andrew Carnival. I just want to big up Selena and Janelle of the St. Andrew Carnival Committee. They did a fantastic job. Very good organization. We had a grand old time. Yes, I did participate in the jump. And the jump actually started from Barclays and it actually went right down to Beltane. And it was well organized, no incidences of crime obviously. And I think that everyone had a really, really good time at the carnival. I must say though, there were many moments where I was just pulled one side and people, they talked about the challenges that the St. Andrew constituency faced. You know, the constant talk and communication where the roads are concerned.
Yeah.
You know the roads and so forth. Those things are considered bread and butter issues, but they are so horrible now.
Yeah.
They have become lobster and caviar issues. You know, and especially the bus system.
Yeah.
You know, they continuously talk about the bus system.
And with the divestment apparently on the cards,
Well,
you know.
this is going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
If it's bad now, let me tell you something. It is going to be worse if that comes to fruition. You know, and if one way it can not come to fruition is if the Democratic Labour Party takes the view. We will find some other way around the challenges where that is concerned. You know?
Right. Ramon, as a young person yourself, and then when you go out into St. Andrew and you do your canvassing and stuff, what are the young people speaking to you about in regards to their challenges and what they're seeing in their particular constituency?
I can tell you one big challenge. It sounds very simple, but it seems to be a big issue where the young people are concerned. They're not listened to. They're not simple.
Simple.
No, they're not listened to. You cannot find solutions if you do not listen. That simple situation, but it seems tumultuous for the representative of that constituency.
And this government on a whole, because they don't even seem to want to talk to the people and, you know, get their perspective on anything that they want to do.
One of the things they talk about a lot too, as well, underemployment.
Yeah.
We have a lot of young people, they're getting odds and ends job, too much job here, too much jobs off, on, you know. They're thankful and contented where that is concerned, but that is not enough. You know, a career cannot be built on that. They want some level of stability.
Stability. One of the segments I was going to look at, I would call it the Barbadian break economy. But let me use the parallax that the young people would say. We break. You know, we break. They don't say we broke or we are broke. We break. You get me? So when you have young people telling you, well, listen, I don't have any money, it seems like as it's something as simple like that could be ignored. It could probably go through one ear and come out through net. Oh, we break. But really and truly, when someone is telling you that they don't have any money, they themselves are being opened up to a lot of unsavory situations that they can find themselves in the underground economy, where that somebody now could come and say, well, listen, I got some drugs here you could sell. I got a gun that you could pick up and do some work for me. You can be paid handsomely. You can be paid more. You can be paid more than you were paid on, you know, for a normal job, normal wages. And the work is just you probably just going up there and just selling something, or going up there and just pointing a gun and shooting at somebody. And they make it seem like light work.
And you know, I would have talked to one of my constituents, and they cited, you know, they have to go back to the representative all the time where jobs are concerned. You know, they get a little tweak here. They're promised another job. Need to go back to the representative. 2 weeks over, they're gone again, laid off again, back to the minister again. You know, it's a feed. Give a man a fish, and he will eat for one day. That type of government, you know, it has to stop. You know, it has to stop. It's not good enough.
You would think
the young people, they're not seeing a future going. And I'm telling you something. You see, when a young person, when they're not seeing the light,
at the end,
no excuse for crime and violence. I want to put out that disclaimer there right now, right? But you know, that is one of the reasons a young man will take up and go and do something because he is desperate. Again,
desperation.
No excuse for crime and violence.
Right. Dale, I want to come back to you. Today I read the paper and saw a 16-year-old being charged with numerous offenses with a firearm. He probably would have maliciously threatened, you know, gone out and battered some people using this firearm. And I think it was about probably 6 or 7 charges. 16 years old, right? When you see something like that, how does that grip you? Especially to somebody that you, not too long ago, you were 16 yourself. What was that about, what, 3-4 years ago?
Loves a compliment, so
take it as well. Take it as well. Receive it. How does news like that grip you?
honestly, it is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because one, that mother or father have to go through hardship for the next couple of months or years.
Years, more than likely.
You get me? And you know, that mother might be wondering when my son comes out, what will happen to him?
Right.
Somebody gonna retaliate and kill him, or you know, is everything gonna be okay? But when I see news like that, it shows me that we have a failing system because we don't have anything in place to prevent our young men from, you know, getting to that point. So everybody might ask the question, oh, young people ain't want to work, blah blah blah. People might say, you know, he ain't had the right with a gun. But let us ask the real question. How is the gun getting here? Because number one, if a lot of these young boys come from middle income families or lower income families, and a lot of those times those young black men, go out there with $0 because I brat. They can use that term, I brat. So how are you gonna get this money to import a firearm first off? Or how are you gonna get this money to purchase a firearm? So when I see news like that, I don't ask what part he get it from. I ask him how it get here.
In the first place.
In the first place, how we get here? Because we don't have any gun companies.
No manufacturers.
Correct. Smith & Wesson don't operate in Barbados at all. So how we get here? So that's the question. The port of entry. How are these things getting here? Because, quick example. When you travel, you leave in Barbados and you enter in Barbados, it's a tight system. It's tight. So how you can import a gun? How you can get a gun in? If you gotta go through so much security, when you bring stuff through the seaport, the security tight, cause things gonna come off and get scanned. Everything does get scanned. So how are the guns getting here?
Right.
So that is my question, because these youngsters, first off, a lot of these parents working on minimum wage, $10.50 an hour. So those mothers, those single mothers, you know, working minimum wage, working, you know, 2 shifts a day, just to provide rent over, which is a roof over the head, and pay these bills. So when you see a single mother with a 15-year-old boy, mother working 2 shifts, the 15-year-old boy don't have no kind of parental supervision when he's at home after school. So he don't know this is the situation. we brat, my mother brat, we ain't got nothing.
This
This is the mentality.
Yeah.
So you know what? I need to fund it. I need to help or contribute to some way, somehow, some fashion. So when these young guys at home unsupervised, my mommy outside, you the parent might assume that he outside riding a bicycle or playing some football, but you know he then start off, you know, that's raking the block. He start off, go and get some shoes from, you know, go and get me a pair size 10 from this place or that place, and he gonna make that run. Then you know, I'm gonna move this quarter ounce of weed from here to there, put it there,
and it just escalates.
and they just keep going up. Because then when the elder on the block, which is the boss, or you know, certain soldiers in position, in power, those soldiers will, well, Ramon, do this, and then when you realize that, yeah, Ramon is a bit trustworthy. Ramon, we got 10 guns around the corner, gonna take them out to the sack and bring them up. So then now you realize now that Ramon is 16, 15. Ramon is locking to making money. So every time he make a run, you give you 100 or 200 or 300. So that's why I say that we have a failing system, because when we expel these boys from school at 15, we are only giving the bosses the opportunity
and the employees,
and the, you know, to become employees, because all of these young boys going to become employees for the bosses, and then you will then see these young individuals. First off, a lot of them, you will see they get charged, but who's the lawyer representing them? Some gonna have lawyers and some don't. So the reality is, those mothers, those parents, those family members have to then go and put the house up for mortgage, borrow money, because you get charged with a firearm. There's an indictable charge, bail starting at what, $10,000-15,000. Book that, and then you know that parent have to go through so much. That parent already at a negative one.
Yeah.
That parent already behind. Light, water, rent, barely making ends meet. So the real question is, how are our young people getting the guns? Where the guns coming from? So what we should do then, as opposed to expelling students, put students in a program. So you realize that these children are not, you know, behaving to standard. Let us investigate and go in depth with counselors to see what is the root cause, what is the trauma behind the behavior.
Yeah.
And that's the only way then we can then help to tackle crime. You get me? And another way, you know, like, example, 16 years old. What are the job opportunities for the 16-year-old?
Yeah.
What are the job? Where are the job opportunities? So I don't expect the government to give you jobs. I don't expect that. What I expect, the government should be creative in securing jobs in all sectors, either private or public sector. Because if I could do it for the city of Bridgetown, I started a youth employment program, and this youth employment program, I collaborated with the private sector, and those persons would have offered jobs to me, and we hire people right here on spot. And so young people, we went canvassing the week. We let them know, well, I have a job fair coming up, show up. We had a lot of young people came here that Saturday morning, eager to work. Those young people were hired on the spot here at the opposition leader office. So why the current government, with all of the connections
and the resources,
all of the resources, you get me? Why that? For me, if I was the tourism minister, the same way I give the hotels the approval for the duty-free concessions, create a employment contract. Now you know what? I want you to hire X amount of young people. You get me? I know that your focus as a business is to hire the most experienced or the better people for the job. But what I realize in managing, when you take these individuals into the restaurant, into the hotel sector, these individuals come in with an eager mind to learn, and you could train these young people to become anything. All the young people really need is someone to hear and understand, and also provide solutions. Not solutions to benefit you, the government, but solutions to benefit every young people, every young person.
Yeah, I just want to cut in here, right? I just want to let you guys know. Let me tell you something, right? The young people are watching, they're watching, and they're seeing what the Barbados, the party-led government, what they're doing. Now, I'll give you guys a quick story, right?
Yeah.
I went to a constituent, let me say I'm a constituency, obviously, and the young man came out, and the young man, he started to talk, and so I said, good evening, you know, I introduced myself, and I asked him if there's actually an adult in the house. But I stopped myself in the track. I said, well, look, let me ask him how old he is. 20 years old.
Okay.
You know? He didn't look as though he ever saw a star pitch.
I still had the mother features.
Of course. And the young man, we started to engage in conversation. And the young man started to talk about, you know, the biscuit and corned beef politics. You know, I told myself, how does he know about the biscuit and corned beef politics?
Biscuit and corned beef politics.
He knows that the politicians, they come around and they would, you know, around the election time, and they would, you know, hand out these things for a vote, you know, and he's actually talking about, you know, where are they before? That's the question he's asking, you know, and he's also citing as well the amount of money the Barbados, the party-led government, was borrowing, and what is happening with the money. Where is the money going? Because he's not seeing any program in the future. He's actually looking to go overseas. And there's something called the brain drain, and all we can get to when we have a lot of young talent leaving Barbados. You know, so I'm telling you, the young people are ambitious. They're talking. They're talking about how the politicians will come around, and they will only come around when the bell is rung. And they are looking and watching and waiting.
I want to speak specifically to the young people tonight. Look at this face. It might be handsome to some, it might be ugly to few, right? But this is a face that I've seen many mornings and many nights where I myself did not know what I was going to do with myself the next day. I came out of school with absolutely nothing. Same thing I came in with my birth certificate, I walked out with that, as if it was my scroll. And I want to say to the young people of Barbados that you have a choice. It's not an easy choice, but really and truly you must make it an easy choice. And I want to tell you that once you put your mind to anything that you want to do, you will succeed. And in some cases, you might not even succeed in the thing that you want to do. But in the course of trying to succeed in that particular avenue, another avenue might open up and take you down a path that you yourself might not have even dreamed of. And in most cases, I wasn't the brightest person in the room. I remember when I was doing my psychology degree, it was an education course. It was media and technology and education. And our lecturer, Fankong Mangal, right? She was signaling out certain individuals in her class that she felt were doing very well. And she would have went to this person and she would have probably said, Ramon is very intelligent. Ramon comes and he puts in his work, and he very good essays and very good projects.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. She would have said, Dale also is very, very, very intelligent, and you know, he can see that he has a very deep mind, and he thinks about the materials, and he expounds on them. And then she called my name. She was like, Damien. And I was like, wow, I getting called intelligent tonight. And she was like, Damien, very hard worker.
Full stop.
Full stop. Very hard worker, full stop. But I took that very hard worker, that compliment, because I want you to understand something. It is, in most cases, it is very, very hard work. You have to make up in your mind that you have to put in the work to get where you are. And you know what that hard work did for me? That hard work did for me, it got me a first-class honors degree in psychology. Hard work. Not necessarily being the brightest person in the room. Hard work. And once you put in hard work, you will be rewarded. And you can do it once you put your mind to it. And I want you all to remember this face. Handsome to most, maybe not as handsome to few, but remember this face and remember that this is a face that he would have failed early, and that he would have put his mind to something that he wanted to do, and he would have achieved. It took me a long time, but I achieved. So that's the message I want to give to you tonight. You have a choice. It's not always an easy choice. And if you want to not find yourself in situations where you have a record on your name for the rest of your life, you have to work at what it is that you want, whether it be at a sport, whether it be in creative arts, whether it be in music, whether it be in DJing, whether it be in working with your hands, whatever. You have a choice. It is the easiest choice to me. It might not be so easy to others, but to me it is better than walking around with a record in your hand and being incarcerated, locked up away from your family, and putting a burden of debt on your family to go and find lawyers to adjudicate your matter. So that is my message to you.
Yeah. I want to rubbish the notion that the young people of this country, they don't want to work.
That's rubbish in my opinion. Yes.
I have been extremely fortunate to meet many young people in the constituency, in the St. Andrew constituency, who are actively looking for work in a serious way. I want to rubbish that notion.
Yeah.
You know? And again, as I spoke about before, they are getting, you know, little jobs here and little jobs there. They're contented, yes, but they need proper work, good work for a lengthy period of time, obviously. Permanent work, not just 2 months on.
This whole thing, I want people to really, I think, underscore what you just said and really highlight it. This government has moved away from appointments and giving people long-term contracts to now these short-term 3-month contracts, which now basically exploded the rate of underemployment. And through that act of just putting people on 3-month contracts, you can't get a job letter for a mortgage, can't get a job letter for a loan to get a car. None of that stuff that you are accustomed to.
You can get the job letter, but you're not going to qualify.
Right.
You can get a job letter.
Thank you very much for that correction. You're not going to qualify because these individuals at the lending institutions would like to see some stability in your tenure of work. So tell me how a government could be so nefarious in taking away the appointment system to then go to a 3-month contract system and hold it over the people's head and say, we for you.
Reason being, right?
Well, you go ahead.
Reason being, a lot of employers, what employers do, you know, when we realize that things are looking a little slow, they let to break your contract.
Right.
So once you could break the person contract before 9 months, you do not have to give them a permanent contract. So a lot of employers in Barbados, they're breaking the contract so that you would not be entitled as a permanent staff for the benefits that a lot of the permanent staff have. So for sure, it will definitely put a strain on our economy because look at it this way. To qualify for a mortgage or to qualify for a car loan, you need to be actively employed for 2 years straight. And then with you, when you're on a 3-month contract or 6-month contract, they break the contract, you go home for 4 weeks, get some NIS, bring you back on, break the contract again, bring you back on. What that would say to our young people is, working for people don't make sense. I will have a stable job if I sell drugs, rapper, Fanta. I will have a stable job if I sell juices. I will have a stable job if I do braids, lashes. So we then, they get me as the new Democratic Labour Party, that's going to take over the government. What we then need to do, we need to put a program and focus on entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Because right now, the era that we're in, a lot of the young minds prefer to be self-employed. Because they can manage their time, they can make more money from at home. I know people that stopped going, that resigned from working at 9 to 5 to sell juices.
I want to also say something, because going back to that whole 3-month contract, I guess, arrangement that the government has implemented. A young person came up to me and asked me, because this is a very intelligent young person that lives in my neighborhood, and he saw me on DLP TV, and I would have said something on TV to the effect that I believe that some of the things that this government are doing are recommendations that they're fulfilling from the IMF when they took money. And he told me, he said, listen, Damien, the next time you go on DLP TV, I want you to ask a question for me. Ask if really and truly the whole divestment in regards to the transport board, and also in regards to the moving from the long-term appointments to the short-term contracts, if these are recommendations that this government are fulfilling as conditions for taking money from the IMF. Because when you really look at it, these look like conditions that the IMF would ask you to do if you're taking their money. Divest from state-owned entities and cut the public workforce.
Yeah. Or the political reasons as well. A young person, asked me the question, why do I have to still go back to the minister for him to continue to renew my contract all the time? Is it a situation where I have to remain loyal to him where employment is concerned?
A dependency.
A dependency.
To keep them coming back to them, and then if anything,
that is the Barbados Labour Party philosophy.
That's the question.
That's what the Barbados Labour Party like to do.
Would have asked me.
Love doing.
That's the question the young man would have asked. Why do I have to keep going back to the minister where work is concerned? And clearly, there's a job opening. Clearly, because I've been working 2 months on, 2 months off, 2 months on for a long period of time. So clearly there is a job opening. So why do I keep having to go back to the minister? So that's the question. So the minister seems to want to hold him tight.
So then when you look at it, then if you take it from the perspective from a private sector job, there's an opening, right? There's an opening.
Of course.
You go and you interview, right? You get the job. And then 3 months later, tell you, oh, come and interview for this job again.
That is correct.
You understand? But then 3 months later, come and tell, oh, come and interview for this job again.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Of course.
And this government.
Not only come and interview, come back to me.
Oh, come back.
Come back to me.
Come back to me.
Come back to me.
Come back to me. Send back in you CV, your letter of interest. And we go through the whole process again. That is madness.
There's content, because there's some level of income, but it is definitely not good enough. The young people, they need to see a light at any time. And then the young man told me so straight. That's what he's saying. I'm not seeing any light at the end of this tunnel here at all.
So question. So our young people know, you're saying that they have to go to the minister. So what happened to the Public Service Commission?
That's a very good question.
So does that still operate? Is that defunct?
That is a very good question. That's a question that you must ask. It seems that they're null and void. It seems that the minister now would have, he supersedes that entity if it's still an entity. If it's still an entity, and that is not good enough. Again, loyalty. Come back to me. So you're thinking, obviously, what? You have to be loyal to me so you can eat the food, and that's what it's got to, eating the food.
So let me just highlight again what the young people are saying from their perspective, Ramon.
Of course.
They're asking, why do I always have to go back to the minister to ask?
Also, why am I constantly on contracts for a very long period of time? Why? That's the question they're asking.
Dale, let me go back to what you said earlier. You said that you would have put on a job fair here at the opposition leader's office, and you would have had great engagement from the young people coming, and not only the engagement, they would have found employment. Are the young people saying it's difficult to find jobs here in Barbados?
Point blank period. it is difficult for a lot of the young people to get jobs, especially people from the city.
Yeah.
I met young people this year that would apply for jobs that, you know, live in the city and could not obtain, you know, employment because of the current address. So that address thing is still a big issue in Barbados. So the young gentleman then had to change his address using a family member address, and then he resubmitted months later, and he was successful in driving forklift. He had forklift license. He had CXCs.
So
he applied to drive forklift.
He's educated. He's educated and
Correct.
skilled. Right.
Educated and skilled. And because his address was city, you know, people don't want him. And that is a stigma that is still going on in Barbados.
Are we still looking at individuals? Are we still really screening individuals for jobs from the place that they may have they've been born and raised?
Well, we have
still happening?
We have some instances of that. But what I'm getting from the young people, what they're saying, is that there's a lot of nepotism involved. Friends and family being heard. You know, friends and family being heard in a serious way. There's lots of it, and I'm telling you now, underemployment in Barbados is at an all-time high where young people are concerned. They talk about unemployment being low and so forth. Underemployment where the young people are concerned is at an all-time high. That is why they are migrating. That is why we have a serious brain drain. Whilst Guyana, they have a brain gain. You know, people, young talent are going back to actually going back to the nation. You know, where we have an issue where young talent is going they're going overseas to play their trade.
So I want to expand on the brain drain, but I want to read some of the comments that we have here tonight. Let me see. This is Jacqueline Rowe. You are correct, Dale, but the school curriculum has to be revised to enable such. I realized this at school. The system is catered for the students to be employees and not employers. So we, as you said, expanding on what you were saying about making more entrepreneurs of our young people, and that is true. Let me see if I can read another one here. This is from Sandra Charles. They can become young entrepreneurs, so we're going on the entrepreneur road again, and have loans available for them. The money will be coming from the government. And I believe that. I mean, I think we need to really expand our grants and loan systems, easily to access loans with low interest rates, or better yet, maybe even no interest rates.
Correct. Because look, to get a loan to start a small business, a lot of the people giving is $5,000. $5,000 is nothing to start a small business. We have so many entrepreneurs. Because if the government could create a $20,000 grant, where the young individuals could then propose their business plan, their projection, of a 2-year projection, a 5-year projection, and then the government then could create a payment system that, you know, this money can be retrieved, no interest. You get me? We could provide a no interest grant up to 20,000. Reason why I say this, what you think will happen to the money? If we push entrepreneurship, that money stays here in our economy. So the same grants and flexibility we give the hoteliers, I believe we could give our entrepreneurs. Reason being, because when you get that big profit, so let's say I am from far away, and I come to Barbados and I set up my hotel. When I collect my profit, where do you think my profit is going to go?
Back in my pocket, or back in your pocket, basically.
My profit is going to leave here. So if my profit is 10 million for that calendar year, 30 million for that calendar year, my profit, after I pay overheads, taxes, everything, I collected a little 10 million for myself. Where you think I'm going to send my money? I'm going to ship my money to where I live.
To where you live.
You get me? But we empower our young entrepreneurs in Barbados, all over Barbados, have so much brilliant ideas as it relates to entrepreneurship, but they do not have a proper platform to help develop those ideas. You know why? Because look, the school system is created to create factory workers. This goes back to the Rockefeller. You get me? They just want to create factory workers. We have to move away because look, the world is changing, the time is changing. You get me? So if politicians want to, relate to people, we can relate to people off the 9 to 5 concept where you assume that every young individual want to be employed.
Again, before you go on, sorry, I can tell you guys a little story.
Yeah,
when I was actually younger, right? Only about five years ago. But when I was younger, I was at school, and this was my thought process based on how I was educated and so forth. You go to school, you come out, obviously, you get some work, and you go and work for someone. That is what I thought a future was.
That was actually been ingrained in us.
That is what I thought a future was. Just that. Mortgages and so forth. Another thing we gotta look at is financial literacy as well too.
Yeah.
A lot of the younger people are asking for courses, asking for avenues in which they can learn how to manage money. That is very important.
Yeah.
A lot of them are saying, you know what, I want to know how to invest. I want to know where to invest and how to invest. Right? How to invest. Now we give the hotels, the big hotels and so forth, concessions. Right? Thinking that trickle down economics work.
No.
It does not work.
No.
They're thinking the big hotels, not knocking the big hotels, but not knocking them at all. But they're expecting that, you know what, you're going to have some employees and so forth, and you'll be able to pay them, and then they will be able to pay their bills. That is not working. Clearly, it's not working. A lot of the money, as Dale mentioned, going back to wherever the hotel, wherever the parent company.
Correct. If I come from Japan, my money going back to Japan.
Right? So why not give concessions for the small businesses? The young people are asking the question, why not give concessions for the small businesses in this country?
And not $5,000, upwards of 20,000. You get me? And then you just don't give them the money. You have to then help those young individuals manage the funds, manage the staff, and help those individuals create SOPs to help their business function. Because why is it that we have so many talented young people that can make juices, wines, all kinds of things from fruit, and we don't have a vineyard set up? We can make soursop wines, all different kinds of wines. Rum punch is such a big thing for the tourism sector. There are so many young individuals that can make rum punch and different things. How can we help empower these people?
I want to go back to Lemuel Tell's comment. Lemuel Tell, a friend of the show. The answer is yes, Damien. All of these so-called cost-cutting measures are prescribed by the IMF. Divestment trimming and public service reward. And I want people to understand something too. When it's not as simple as just saying divest from state-owned entities and cutting the public service, because when you engage in that overall, that is a government divesting itself from the people. They would have taken their investment out of the people. And I hear this foolishness all the time on the internet, where they say that the transport board is not making a profit, so it's obvious defending that it should be divested from, but a public service is not supposed to be profitable.
I got a question to ask. The question I want to ask: can you remember, or anyone, can anyone remember when this current administration imported those 121 buses?
Yes.
When? In the first term or the second?
I think it was in the beginning of the second term.
So the reason why I asked this question,
it's not corrected, but maybe somebody in the audience knows. When was the first shipment of those buses?
Correct. The reason why I asked that question, because I spoke to constituents, persons that drive the trucks,
Yeah.
person that drives bus, and this is for government, sanitation, and also transport board. When the government made the purchase for these electric buses, they knew within years to come
Yeah.
it's gonna fail
Yeah.
because transportation is not that is not a business that will fail. Because when you look at the PSV, those guys are not failing. Those guys start with one ZR or one yellow bus, and then move from 1 to 2 to 4 to 6 to 8. Then those guys go into taxis and the whole transportation sector. So I know for a fact that was in the pipeline from jump to import the wrong buses. Then when things hit the fan, I can say, well, oh, it's not making a profit, so you know what, we have to privatize it. But that was always in the pipeline. Because you know why? Well, you carry specialists, persons that drive the buses every day to tell you, well, this does not make economical sense to gain profit.
Right.
They don't manage this Barbados party-led government. They do not manage risks properly. They do not. Things aren't thought out. And this shows a level of mismanagement in every level of management. Time, human resources,
Finances.
financial management. You know, they are extremely poor at risk management.
Diesel lasts longer. Diesel lasts longer than regular gas. I drove gas vehicle and I drove diesel vehicle. Diesel lasts longer to me. And I spoke to other diesel drivers and they said diesel lasts longer. So how can you have an operation that needs constant, you know, up, down, and then you would then think that bringing electric bus or buses, what is the charging time? So they had all of this information up front. They know that, you know what, when we bring these buses gonna get pulled over, charge up for 5 hours. So we think that happened to our operation where you got paid cleaners, mechanics, drivers, admin staff, people to answer the phones. Transport board got tons of staff, a lot of staff. So how can you bring electric vehicles to an operation like the transport board? It showed me, for me, I personally believe that this was a plan
From the beginning.
from beginning. So you know what? When we crumble this sector, we could easily put it in the public domain and make the public believe, oh loss, we are not making a profit. When really and truly that much was in the pipeline long time.
Poor management.
So
And I just want to knock you out, right? The young people asking the question, Uber is not doing well.
Yeah.
It's so coincidental that you're hearing about the privatization of transport, where you know it was the pipeline for the world. But you have no Uber coming into play. Is it a coincidence? I think not. I think that Uber was there obviously to catch the deficiencies of the transport board in which they're looking to privatize anyway. I think Uber was there at the right time.
Right.
You remember in COVID-19?
Or at the wrong time, however you would look at it. But the young people asking that question as well too, where Uber is concerned. Very coincidental.
Yes, dear.
In COVID, a lot of persons, you know, were home.
Yeah.
I was one of those persons in the hotel sector that cut me first. So line staff, they went, supervisors went, managers we stayed on for a period of time, and then everything was no longer. And I learned so much in that COVID-19 period that I know for a fact right now, when they privatize the transport board, I know what will happen to those workers that are currently employed. Example, if I'm 55 years old, I head into pension, I left school, 2 CXCs, I managed to become a driver at the transport board, what will happen to me? How am I going to get employment? I have a car loan, paying financial institution, let me say $500 a month, and I rent in, what will happen to me? So how can I purchase one of the electric buses? If I am a janitor or maid working at minimum wage, $10.50 an hour by 40 hours, $420 a week. So I'm a cleaner, and that's what I'm making, $420 a week, which is approximately about $16.80 a month. What you think is going to happen to me? I can't go and find employment. It's going to be hard for me to now leave the transport board in my particular age bracket and find employment. The young people that are in transport board could easily bounce back. But then the government want to say, well, we can learn to buy these here. But none of them staff can qualify
Hardly like
to get any of the buses.
To get it in the first place, and then know to maintain it.
To maintain it.
Where are you going to charge it? You understand me?
one of those batteries.
Well,
The cost of one of the batteries.
the cost of one of the batteries.
And I smelling friends and family again.
A lot of nepotism.
In regards to the purchase of the
buses.
The actual buses. You know, it's a serious thing. Now, I've met a young lady as well. Again,
Another young person.
the great St. Andrew constituency. Right? I asked him the question about what about my little daughter, middle school child. I'm struggling to say is the mass transit in which they want to put the umbrella in which they want to put the transport system under. Will they mandate school children to ride free on the buses? Will that happen? That's the question you got to answer.
Well, if you've divested from a particular
Let me make it make sense.
Yeah.
Let's make it make sense. Plain terms. No.
You can't tell them.
Before
You
we
can't
go
tell
on-
No, because you know what? Look at the taxi.
Go ahead.
The taxi operation. When you go and get a loan to purchase a vehicle, to put Z on it, you think that the government could tell me to put a school child in it for free? Let me be real. You think that the government could tell me, the individual that have this mortgage to pay or have this car loan to pay, that I need to transport the elderly or the school children for free? No.
There's some currently.
No.
You know, I mean, and the other question I ask you, believe it or not, there's some young people who are concerned about their elderly grandma. You know, a lot of, I call them old souls. A lot of young people, they grow up, you know, their grandmother raised them.
Yeah.
I want to know about granny.
Yeah.
You know how she's gonna get. Is the mass transit that authority? They're going to mandate that pensioners are free. It's going to be highly unlikely.
Well, if you want to make a profit, nobody ain't gonna ride on the bus for free. That's for sure.
Listen to me. There's no way the government, the Barbados Labour Party, could make me believe that the transport board is failing. If the transport board is failing, it's because of the head. If the head bad, the body bad.
Yeah.
Poor management.
Poor management.
It's because of them.
Because you know why? They did not put the correct SOPs in place from jump. Number one, I'm not going to buy electric buses without consulting specialists, persons that have to drive these buses every single day. Could tell you know what, sir, this don't make sense. When you want to buy a car, you don't carry a reliable mechanic to tell you, this chassis here down pull out, you know, don't make this buy.
For those who don't know what are SOPs, you know, just
Standard operation procedures.
You got actually the Barbados that probably know what SOPs.
Yeah. They know. The reason why I say that they know because they are smart enough to know years ahead. You know, but what I'm saying though, look, as it relates to entrepreneurship, if you really want to tackle crime in Barbados, we have to strengthen entrepreneurship. Because a lot of our young people, if they can get a solid backing from a government, you get me? They then would not be focused in, look, what do you think a lot of young guys is going to sell drugs? Let me be real. Because working at 9 to 5 for $420 a week, and they have to pay rent at $350. What people renting rooms right now, a minimum of $200 a week. Our persons are making $300. So how is it economical sense for me to work for $300 a week? My rent is $250, and then bus fare will come out of that. So you think that happen? I got to sell drugs. So then if we could then start the entrepreneurship program at $20,000, we then put specialists to work along with the young people, what do you think that happen? I could go and get 20 grand, boy. Because you know what? Every single human being on this earth, every young person have a dream, have a goal, and you know what has happened? You see that word? Impossible? You come from a particular area, the first thing is always say, man, that impossible. I never hear anybody that went to school here become a lawyer, a doctor, or a politician, or a chef, or this, or that. That impossible. Nobody from any family, man, you're just like your father, or you're just like your mother. That impossible. So young black men and black women are custom here, impossible. But you know, for me, I heard that so much. But then what I did, I broke that word down into two. I put I am, space it, and then possible.
I'm possible.
Possible.
I'm possible. I got you.
And everything that I put my mind to as a young individual, I have accomplished. So I'm saying to the young people, do not let anybody tell you that impossible. If the government said that impossible because the government choose not to do it, I guarantee you, when the Democratic Labour Party regain this government, we're going to focus heavily on our young people, because at the end of the day, we love to talk rhetoric, bare rhetoric. The young people is the future. But every morning, the future heading to Dodds. That don't add up.
Yeah. I mean,
all we could do is be gathering, and our focus is, the headline is fattening and food. What are we telling our young people? So you know what's going to happen? If I'm working on minimum wage, $300 a week, my rent is $250, and I want to go party, I want to go fat, you know what you got to do? I got to do things that are not, you know, ethical, brother, or moral standards. We gonna stray away from that. So you know what your people gonna do? People gonna thief, people gonna sell drugs, people gonna get involved in all kinds of activities to gain money, to go to these flats that the Barbados Labour Party pulling off every minute. That is not governance, and that is not creating a future for our young people. What do you think that the crime rate so high? The crime rate high because the young people hands are idle. Young people want something to do. Young people have so much creative talent. We have to expand the educational system. The educational system worked for, and it did well. However, times are changing. If we could change with the times for social media, why we can't change the system, the educational system, to help empower young people?
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship is where it's at, you know.
Right. So we are now being joined by Comrade Jamal Sandiford, candidate for St. Michael Northeast. Sir, it's nice to see you, sir. Better late than never.
Yes, better late than never.
Better late than
here.
Right. I wanna set you up. I wanna set you up for something in particular, but I wanna say something first. I wanna say something first because we see now that this government is pulling away from the public service and they're divesting state-owned entities, right? Especially now with the transport board. We know that we have a lot of single household, female-led single household, and I want to speak specifically to those female-led single households. We already live in an economy that it already prices you out most of the basic things, especially when it comes to food. Our cost of living is out of control. And I want to speak specifically to other people as well, the men who may be there in the household or may not. But to all of you, study it. You might not want to vote your conscience because there's some people who will support a party regardless. No, regardless of what this party does, they're going to support it. But if you're not going to vote your conscience, vote with your wallet. Because this is what I can tell you. You see, if the divestment goes through for that transport board, you got to find a couple $100 every month to send your school children. Consider that at least if you have maybe two children the most, find $300 to $400 probably extra especially if bus fares go up. On top of what you have to pay in bills, in food, and fuel or whatever it is, that's $300 or $400 on top of that. So I want to ask my Barbadian brothers or sisters, what are you going to do? Are you going to vote loyalty or your conscience, or are you going to vote with your wallet? Because right now, as it stands, Barbadians are hurting and they're not finding the money to basically just to deal with their own basic needs. So what is going to happen when these things really come to fruition and this government has its way and they're given another term to do what it is that they want to, which is divest from the human resource, which is the Barbadian people. Jamal, I'm coming to you now. What are you hearing in regards to the young people when they see the things that are going on in Barbados? Like, public service has already been cut. Basically, that 3-month contract thing. You cut the public service already. Because if you want to lessen the numbers, all you gotta do is not renew contracts. You get me? Easy so. If you want to say cut about 1,500 people from the public service, just not renew 1,500 3-month contracts. How they gonna work? You said, listen, this is your last month. That is it. We have single parent households now who would have to deal with the transport costs. What are you hearing on the ground when you go in St. Michael Northeast from the young people, the young mothers? Are they fearful of where Barbados is going?
To simply start, most times you're going to find if younger people, especially younger mothers, like 20, 23, why not? Let's be real. The transport board is all they know. It is all they know. How else can children get to school? You know, so especially when you got to deal with a situation where you got 3 and 4 and 5 children.
Yeah.
You think it's feasible to take all of them to school and still got to get work yourself? You would never get work early. So I just think that this is a bit of a harsh action to take towards this particular area. The act of privatizing public transport, you have to wonder, does that even make sense? You know what I mean? You call it public transportation. It was designed by the Democratic Labour Party way back then to help the poor people. As Comrade likes to call it, it is the poor man's limousine. So for me, I don't think it's a wise idea or a wise decision. And I think it's going to put a lot of people under more pressure than they already are. So that's the first place I will start with. Secondly, a lot of times, these young people, these young mothers, already under serious financial strain or financial burden. So there's a lot that could be done for them, and I would like to actually touch on some of the things that Dale said already. You know, like, what do you think is going to happen when you are short on money? You know, mention you don't get contract renewed. How about so you can get money legally? You gotta wait for you get another job. But we already know. Everybody already know. There's faster ways to make money. They may not be ethical, they may not be moral, you know, they may not even be justifiable, but at the end of the day, there's another ways to make money. And when you get under that financial stress, rent gotta pay, bills gotta pay, you can't find food to eat, or you got very little, you don't know where the next set coming from. You're gonna find some way to make it. So I think that is something to really consider. Too oppressive, man. You always like taking. I mean, just say they give you the $300. They call it the solidarity payment, and they trying to say like it really with the solidarity because they're claiming that in December you're supposed to get $500 more. I think that's the rumor that's going around. However, we're waiting for it because these people need money, and Prime Minister yourself always saying, "Oh, you want money," but these people need money too. So I think we gotta move past calling it cost of living now and start calling it money crisis. Because that's exactly what it is, a money crisis, a shortage of money, you know, by everybody except the government. So that's what it was. So you say you don't want touching on something here?
So I want we do a quick little exercise. Ramon, pull your calculator there for me quick.
Math time.
Yeah.
You hold on tight.
Because Damien, you mentioned about the single mother in Barbados right now. So single mom with 3 children, 2 at nursery, and the nursery fee starts at $90 a week.
Right.
By two. By four. Then put that's right now total cost there for me.
I got to pay. You go ahead. Good. Go ahead, dear.
DLP TV, where you come to learn.
So then now, the mom now have to pay $250 a week to rent a room for she and 3 children,
So 250.
which is $1,000 a month.
Yes. Yeah.
Correct.
To continue four.
Right.
This mom is working $300 a week by 4 weeks, which is $1,200.
Right.
But I didn't want to.
But I want to say.
Correct.
But these expenses and this is.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
my
then
gosh,
and then
Yeah.
yeah. And then we are looking at a bus fare. So the mom then have the mom have a 14-year-old in secondary school, and for some reason where this particular family live, the transport board, do not get to them. They have to use public transportation. So the child uses, let me say, what children is pay for the bus fare now? $250.
She's $250?
Yeah, $250. Yeah, so $250 by 4 buses a day, by 5. And then multiply it by 4 weeks.
A month.
So give me that cost right there.
This is the expenses.
Correct. So that's 200, and that's right, child.
Right.
And then the mother uses the same 4 buses at $350.
By 4. By 4. That's 56.
Yeah. Good. Calculate the total expenditure, which is the liability column.
Cost expenditure, yeah.
You got me? That's the liability column. This don't include food.
Correct.
This is just nursery fees, rent, bus fare. $1,976. So
A month.
a month. That's the expenses. Just the roof over the head, nursery fees, and to get to work and home.
Did I see the deficit here on the wrong side here though?
So now the mother only making $1,200 a month. And this is today's reality. Don't be fooled.
By the bus long time too. Long time.
Understand? So
In a bus
a bus at the 2 children going to the nursery. So that's the point I was getting at now. Why the Black Barbados Labour Party government has not thought about or came up with the idea to create more government nurseries. Government nurseries, the cost is like $20 a week. That would then ease the strain on the young mothers, young single mothers.
Right, but the cost doesn't stop there, because if the divestment goes through and bus fare goes between $5 and $10, you understand me?
Correct.
That is $5 and $10 on top of those 3. You said 3 children, 3 to 4 children.
3 children.
3 children and herself.
Correct.
So
you're gonna pay by distance. So every 100 meters you go, you may go pay $2 or $3.
You know what the young people saying too?
what's that?
Like the Barbados, the party leg government, they're about the haves. Not the haves, not the vulnerable.
Not the
They're
vulnerable.
about how the country look to the foreign entities, to foreigners, the international.
Yeah, the overall nation image, right?
They're not about the ordinary man, it's got the ordinary citizen in this. They're not.
That's what we find, that young individuals have to be selling bottled water. And I don't want to put nobody out there, but it's the truth. They had it in Bush Hall, they had it in Bank Hall, and certain areas of town. So really and truly, you could blame them. What else will they have to do? Like my mommy and daddy don't know if they can get back to work because of this 2-month contract, 3-month contract and the 2nd month.
You give them a lot, probably not. Probably, who knows? Sometimes.
Who knows?
No, it's unfortunate though.
You know what's crazy too?
It's unfortunate.
Sometimes you go into some of the houses in the constituency and you ask people, how's everything going on? And people think, man, we good. But when you become a fly on the wall in the constituency, you'll be surprised what you hear. And I really think that people really feeling it. I don't even know how some people can get through this Christmas. To be quite honest with you. I pray the government gives them that $500 right to get through Christmas, because we do not know how some people are going to get through Christmas. So that's how I think things are going right now. You know, like just the other day, they had flooding, or what we call flash flooding, in certain areas. I mean, we saw the damage that was caused. You know, they got certain areas in my constituency where people could not pass.
But all of we on a flood watch.
Well, yes.
Rain is actually falling right
Rain is
now.
falling.
And they bet you no drains, no gutters, no wells ain't get clean.
Not since the last time.
Since the
last time that I had all of that flooding.
So what we can expect for this next time? All we get is a prime minister come on and complain about debris. What we can expect for next time? Seriously, things need to be done, and that's what we're saying on that matter. But don't worry, under the Democratic Party, things will be done.
Well, fellas, now, I need the on-cut here, right? Now, I went to a constituent a couple of weeks ago. About around 6 o'clock, 6:30. Obviously, it's dark now around this place, right? And I went by the door, and there was no electricity. You know, and this is an extremely, this young man, his girlfriend, and then a little one actually came up. You know, and it was extremely unfortunate. You know, this is what's happening in Barbados in 2020. You know, and the young man expressed the fact that he's constantly looking for work. He showed me even about 100 applications. You know, and then we would get out here and say that the young people
don't want.
That is rubbish. Or ain't want to do nothing.
That's the lie.
Nonsense.
That's the lie.
Rubbish, ignorance. You know, they need the opportunity.
Correct. They are deprived of opportunities.
And if they get opportunity, you know what? In some cases you talk about the food and the fetting, but you talk now about the friends and family. You know, that is what's happening. You know, and I think that if someone is capable of doing some work, give them the employment. You know, whether friend or family, give them the employment. And the young people are seeing these things and say, you know what, geez, my luck here. You know, I have no luck here. You know, no luck. If not for bad luck, I would have no luck at all. And that is what the young people are saying in this country.
Correct. I know two individuals that recently started living together, and if it wasn't for the grace of God and their extended family, they'd be in dire straits because both of them on the hunt. They're a young couple, and both of them on the hunt for work. You know, both of them. And the crazy part, what it did? Sometimes the lady get work first. This is a good thing, but she don't get work long. Same thing again. Work for a couple of months, out to sea, back to hunting again. I know the gentleman walked the whole, of the West Coast, hunting ACVs. You understand? So what they say to me? I mean, he might get lucky considering Christmas coming up, because we know that's when they must exploit the younger people that want to come and work, right? But I mean, what's going to happen in the year spring? What's going to happen when things go, as we call it, quote unquote, out of season? So these are things that we really need to consider. And I'm very sorry that you mentioned the people that are unfortunate, but you need to find some solutions for those as well.
Of course. No. I just want to make it very clear to the viewers on here watching DLP TV. We're not here just to criticize the government. We're here to bring the their transgressions that they actually have in the dark. We're here to bring them to light. I just want to make that extremely clear where the viewers are concerned. Don't misconstrue our communication as us just, criticizing the government, but that's not the case. We bring the transgressions of the Barbados-led government into the light. That's all. That is all.
Gentlemen, to speak of this Barbados-led government, I'm not in the habit of reading trash, right? But I read their manifesto for 2018 and 2022, and they would have made promises to the young people. And basically they said that the young people would be more active in the economy and have more opportunities for them to be prosperous and thrive. So basically this government has lied to our young people, because they haven't even begin to invest in them the way that they should. So another issue that I want to bring up as well is that it appears that housing seems to be an issue for young people as well.
It is true.
Because young people now are forced to rent, but they're not able to invest in something permanent, like a home. That permanence of having the ability to call someplace your own is out of reach for them. I want somebody to touch on this for me. They're gonna come to you.
No, let me jump on it, man.
I actually want to get one word in because this is a little bit related to more what Fanus said and not the topic he left for us, right? He just mentioned that the Barbados Party has lied to the people through the manifesto. They said they would do one thing, they didn't. But you know they did do something, right? That I think is worse to people of Barbados.
What is that?
This new open quote unquote situation with the transport board is in their manifesto. So I just want to put out there, this is not something that has cared by the IMF in any way. This is their decision. But I can just leave that there and then let Dale take over from his point. There was another point.
Yeah. So with housing, I want to shout out Comrade Ainsley Granger. You know, I met with him in his constituency, and I remember the Minister of Housing last year bore some brag about these Chinese houses. At current, there are 3 units, and each block have 4 units. So there are 3 blocks, and each block have 4 units. These persons pay $750 a month for these Chinese houses. You get me? The roof in the Chinese houses already caving. The windows damaged already because of the constant rain and you know. And when I look at the condition of these government issued houses under this current Barbados Labour Party, it is disappointing because these persons have to pay $750 a month for chipboard house, and I cannot believe that a government would build such garbage for people to live in. Those houses are atrocious. If we're gonna talk housing, we need to put proper housing solutions that it could be, you know, easy accessible to the single mother that making $1,200 a month.
Correct.
Because so many of our people in Barbados working under $2,000 a month. So many of our people. You get me? So look, I remember the Prime Minister would encourage people to get more children. But how you could get more children and the maternity benefits is garbage.
You're divesting from a transport board now too, and
garbage.
So that's the other expense.
You get me? So I know
they can't sustain and feed them.
You get me? So like if we really care about single mothers, or we care about women, I believe that maternity leave should be 1 year. Because why should a mother have to put her infant into private care in 3 months? It's hard. Give that mother enough time. You get me? Because look, see childbirth.
Yeah.
Childbirth is so amazing, and it's also so deadly.
Dangerous at the same time. Yeah.
You get me? So like we have to appreciate women and the condition and the stress that a woman put her body through as relates to childbirth.
And I want you all to understand that these are all young gentlemen who are taking into consideration the plights of a woman.
You get me?
We
Like,
listen to you and we hear you.
Childbirth, you know, I believe that every woman in Barbados should stay home a minimum of 1 year. You get me? So I know for a fact under the Democratic Labour Party government we're gonna implement that. And that then would also help our people. That's one. Number 2, we the same way we are building hotels, we need to build more government nurseries to also help cushion, because social services is good, you know. It's real good. And they can also help our people, because look, when we could put our children in the government nursery, cut back on that cost, those single mothers then could be able then to develop themselves, because we got young mothers, 17-year-old, 18-year-old mothers, 19-year-old mothers. So you get me? And you trying to tell me that these mothers have to only become a maid? No, we need to put systems in place to empower our women. You get me? And put our women on a pedestal that, you know, because every woman that contributed to childbirth, she put her body under so much pressure, so much stress, and I don't think that woman should go back to work in 3 months.
I mean, the woman got 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot out.
You get me? So like a Democratic Labour Party, I know that is an angle we should approach. More government nurseries.
Definitely.
There's another angle that we need to focus on, and then we need to put more counsellors in school. Not one counsellor for first form all the way up to 5th. We need counsellors for each year group.
Correct.
The same way you have a year ahead, you need a counsellor for each year group that would then look at those children that are misbehaving, because trauma is a serious thing. So much of our people go through traumatic experiences and living with trauma up to this day. So then we need to help. That's the only way we could then look to combat crime, because this mother making $1,200 a month. She have 3 children. One of these children is a 15-year-old boy. This mother have to work a double shift. You think that 15-year-old boy can do? Get involved in criminal activities to assist the mom, to assist his mother. I was in the barber shop and I saw a 14-year-old, 15-year-old, and he came in with his little brother, so that his little brother could get a haircut. But when he walked into the barber shop, he walking macho, like, So his demeanor showed me that he automatically have to become the man in the household.
Correct.
At that tender age. So he have to protect the younger brother, carry the younger brother to get a haircut. More than likely that mother working on 10-50 or pulling a double shift, and there's no other person there.
Gentlemen, you guys are aware that the Democratic Labour Party, our great party, would have provided the Barbadian people with the most low-income housing in Barbados' history. You guys are aware of that?
Yeah.
Very much so.
Again, to the people, with the ordinary Barbadian. That is why I love the Democratic Labour Party. That's why.
Well
With
said.
the ordinary Barbadian, because I'm an ordinary Barbadian.
I'm actually glad. I'm actually glad that you brought that up, because it slipped my mind to correct it, to bring it up, but I'm glad that you brought it up.
Thank you.
Because I would have heard a particular brass tax source, I'm not going to call his name, he would have said that the Democratic Labour Party was horrible in regards to providing housing and the management of housing during their tenure. Which he
didn't do his research.
And this is the sort of thing that we need to call out, because it seems like there is a particular bias with people in the media, people who call themselves political scientists, and they come and they spew this nonsense to the Barbadian people. And I want the people of Barbados that sometimes you have to do your own research.
Good point.
You have to do your own research, or you have to talk to somebody who's knowledgeable in the area, because there are people who have agendas. Whether it's because they are partisan, I don't care. But at the end of the day, you are in a position of that type of responsibility. You have to come truthful to the Barbadian people, whether you are loyal to an institution or not. Because at the end of the day, that is what your mandate is. If you're going to put out information to the Barbadian people, it has to be truthful. It has to be truthful, and it has to be factual, devoid of opinion. And that is what I think we have the biggest problem right here, right now, and that is why this government seems to get a lot of passes when it comes to their missteps.
I think in terms of influencers and so forth, there are biases, in a serious way. I think that people who have strong influence, really and truly, people who have strong influence, should be very bipartisan. Should be extremely bipartisan.
Should be.
As much as possible, people on obviously who are the moderators of programs and so forth, you can hear the partisan echoing through the airwaves. You can hear it. It has to stop. It is total rubbish. And I want rubbish the notion that the Democratic Party would have done badly in terms of low income. That is rubbish. That is extremely fallacious information. It must be rubbish. Nonsense. Foolishness.
I'm gonna come back to you, Jamal, because you've done a lot of groundwork in St. Michael Northeast, and you being a young political candidate yourself, because I'd ask you gentlemen to take off their political hats and just speak from the perspective of a young Barbadian who is seeing what is going on right now, and I want to come and touch on the brain drain, so I can give this to you. Right? I know that Dale chomping at the bit for this one, but they can give this one to you. Right? I can't let Dale hold everything. So I give this to you. Are we in danger of losing our brightest and our youngest to more, I guess, economically prosperous opportunities over and away?
Most definitely. Look, listen. I put it like this here. If I were just a young, average citizen trying to get through, first chance I get a good business world, probably gone. First chance I get to go on the Canadian opportunity trip that is normally have, I'd be gone. The orange apple, 22. You know, the orange picking apple picking from overseas, right? Because like any day, things are so hard here. And I mean, like, I come across students at BCC all the time. Things are not the easiest. They've got students that are working, not for themselves, for an institution or organization, to be able to help fund themselves to come to Barbados Community College. You know, and let's think about it. For example, work already could be stressful. Work already could be hard. You coming from that same, some of these people left work and go straight to class. Some of these classes be challenging already. You know how hard it is for them to balance the two of them things. Some needs to go on left foot work to go classes. Some needs to go on left foot class to make money. You know, you're putting between a rock and a hard place. And I'm not saying that that's the worst thing possible. I'm saying you could do things to make things better for them. So yes, why wouldn't they go? You know, why wouldn't they take the first trip out to get an ease, to get a better chance at, you know, getting the States or getting a place that provides more for their people? You know, why wouldn't they leave? Why will you decide to say, you know what, I can try to scrounge up my little change that I probably could have saving and start something else? Because if that goes in weird as I leave you, worse than where you started. So I can't be vexed with young individuals who want to leave. I have to be vexed with the people that have them in this situation.
That they want to leave.
You know what I mean? Like, this party has provided education for the populace. This party has provided NAS before it became NASS for the populace. So what I'm saying is, this party will be the party to take these children, these students, to the right generation, to the right area where we can leverage your skills and leverage your knowledge. Too many times, we know people have come and just get the job that some of these people are working 8-9 years, getting the bachelors, getting the masters, and then somebody from overseas that don't know Adam come and, well, you got documentation, you from overseas, let me see what happened there, let's ask you into it. They got the job. Let's be real here. You know, like, this is very unfortunate for our people, and the Democratic Labour Party is for the people and of the people. So we don't stand for this. It's time we have a change. You know, this Democratic Labour Party never decided to privatize transportation. We never decided to extend your maternity leave, but have a caveat or a clause in there stating that if you're not working for the organization for over a year, then you terminate your services. Like this, how does this really help the average citizen? You know, I can't see it helping me. So this is the reality that we are faced with, right? People will leave until people receive better. And until then, all we can do is try to create and craft the right policies that actually help the people of Barbados, especially the youth. Especially the youth.
Ramon, I want to come to the same brain drain issue. Are you fearful that your well-loved constituents, the ones that you love in St. Andrew, are you afraid that you're going to lose them to the brain drain?
Of course. There were actually a situation, as I mentioned before, a young man, he's already looking to go overseas, you know, and he's in IT. And, you know, he's also a little creative as well too. He is in graphic designing, and he sees no future here. You know, I love my creatives, right? Everybody knows that, right? And, you know, the situation as it may be, they are not seeing any light at the any tunnel. Now, Carrie Festa, that was a one-off event. You know, I'm thankful that the creatives came up and they gave it. They were able to eat the food, but that's not good enough. There must be longevity. There must be longevity. We went through a couple of BERT programs, you know, and one of the pillars of BERT was the what? diversify the economy. Anyone see any diversification of the economy? No. It's same. We still at tourism. You know, we still at tourism. What about the orange economy, the creative economy? I know when Stephen Lashley, Comrade Stephen Lashley, he was the Minister of Culture. He would have brought again a video. He would have brought a studio here, right? And we had some people who were in cinema and so forth from Barbados, mind you. We have some talented young people in Barbados, you know, extremely talented. And they were able to go on set and produce for a big company overseas. You know, what about more of those opportunities? You know, so our young talent, our young creatives, don't head up to Hollywood. You know, what about that? Diversification of the economy is extremely necessary, and that is one of the avenues in which you can diversify.
Right.
You know, we must look at that. When the Democratic Labour Party is in government, after the next general election, we will look seriously into the creative economy in a serious way. Must happen, especially for the young people. They're very involved now, you know what, in computers and, you know, graphics and stuff like that. They're very creative. You know, it's gone beyond now the mass in the English. I'm not knocking the mass in the English, but there are some very creative young people, you know, that are unfortunately on the sidelines, which isn't good enough. You know, I tell you, it's not good enough. Change must come.
Daily won't come to you with the same brain drain question.
I was hoping you did.
Save the best for last, my brother.
So, brain drain, that is happening in the hotel sector. I can pinpoint the hotel sector because I spent at least about 10 years in that sector.
Yeah.
And brain drain is serious. So, my first experience with that, I was a level 2 wine sommelier. My colleague, Damien level 2 wine sommelier. My other colleague, Chris Jackman, level 3 wine sommelier, which is Wine Spirit Educational Trust. So those persons, as a wine college in England, they come to specialize the sommeliers here, and then we just pair wine and food together. So at that point, the company needed a head wine sommelier. So what they did, they interviewed all of us who were interested in becoming the head wine sommelier. So wine sommelier pay was around, let's say, $512 a week, 12 service charge points. So you're looking at, say, about $1,000 a week. You know, with that service charge compounded.
Yeah.
Head wine sommelier pay would have been $800 a week at 18 service charge points.
Wow.
So as a head som, you're going home like $2,000 a week, and that include housing, but not if you were local. If you're local, you're getting housing.
You're getting housing.
All right. So 4 of us applied. So they had 1 level 3, which is the highest, and we had about 3 level 2. And all we applied. I had my management qualifications along with tourism management. I had all of those going for me along with the wine qualification, and I was turned down. I felt bad. My colleague Damien was turned down. I felt bad for him. But when my other colleague Chris was turned down, I was like, yo, this is so much nonsense. And I felt really upset that Chris was turned down. Mind you, Chris is the sharpest as it relates to wine. This man is one of the best. And what the company did, the company brought in a level 2 wine sommelier from Italy.
Oh dear.
And he got the job as the head sommelier, the pay, and also
the housing.
So then Chris had to train him. I remember I was in the wine cellar taking stock.
That is madness.
And this guy come and ask me, this is the head wine sommelier, come and ask me about pairing agave wine, you know, with something. And in my head it was like, but you're from Italy. That was in my head.
I mean, like, Italy is like...
is one of the founders of Rowe.
They have a
Because them men battle in war for grapes, you know. You know? Them men battle with France and Spain, and you know, those guys had it as it relates to wines. But if you come from there, you have the job. Why me?
Who didn't get the job?
That ain't get the job. What tell you anything?
Or got to train you?
For me, I didn't know. I was like, I ain't know you gonna ask Chris, cause I ain't playing that. So what happened? I would have been at least 4 years there. I received the opportunity to become a head wine sommelier for less pay at a different resort. So what you think I do? Chris received the opportunity to go to Turks and Caicos. Chris fly out. Damien fly out. But I received the opportunity and I moved from a line staff, collecting about, let's say, over $1,000 a week, to head wine sommelier, collecting about $3,000 a month. You get me?
So it's less pay for sure.
It's less pay. But then when I managed the position, I moved from head wine sommelier to assistant restaurant manager, then to restaurant manager, then the pay increase. So what I am saying here is that if I did not receive that opportunity, I would have been in Dubai, Turks and Caicos, because Rohan Hatshaw, he was a bartender, very good bartender. He went overseas, Dubai. So a lot of our talented bartenders, mixologists, chefs, pastry chefs, executive chefs, all of our people go overseas, get the experience, get the accolades out there, and then you come back. Then the hotels here, they want to give you the perks or the opportunity. So I'm saying that tourism, we are the gem of the Caribbean, and tourism is the biggest. Barbados have a very big tourism sector. So why force our people? Because we don't have no tourist attraction. The tourist attraction is the people.
Yeah.
Because the people keep coming back to Barbados because of the people.
Right.
The interaction, the love,
Yeah.
the you know, embracing tourists as one. So our people have the associate degree from Paul Marine in the culinary arts or the hospitality management. What do you think will happen? I can come and work as a commissary chef, and I realize I can't go any further. So the hotel's still not putting you further. The furthest you can get in certain hotels is a manager post.
Correct.
But the expat positions do not come to our people. What they would do, they would apply to the immigration and tell the immigration, well, I need a job permit because they have not found any person that qualified enough to fit that post. So they already know I want Jamal Sandiford and Jamal Sandiford from Dubai. So I know for sure I want Jamal because Fanus is Jamal's father, and Fanus invests a little bit in my hotel. So he gotta get this executive chef position or food and beverage director position. Jamal get him all the perks. But you know what happened? The other countries treat our Barbadian people like expats. So our people will leave Barbados in the tourism sector and go over there and provide that excellent service out there. And a lot of our Barbadians are not coming back to the hospitality sector in Barbados because now the hospitality sector is making a lot of money, but the people that work there are struggling. The people are struggling. So of course the hotels don't pay a service charge, but collecting service charge. Anyways, I can stick a pin on that.
Before you go on,
Yeah.
I think you got to take off your gloves somewhere.
Ooh.
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh.
There's a level of fear where the young people are concerned
Correct.
to support the opposition. There's a level of fear. Yeah, seriously. The Barbados, the appointed government, they have their vicious tentacles in the private sector, in the public sector. Even private sector workers are afraid to support the opposition. Are afraid to come out. You know, and that is something that we got to talk about in a serious way. Right? Because there's a serious level for it. Young people, I would give you a scenario. I would have asked a celebrity to come out to one of our sessions, our cricket sessions, and he told me he can't come. You know, he's compromised, he can't come.
Whoa.
Gentlemen, we will not be bought with pieces of silver. We are loyal to the Democratic Party.
I like that.
There's a lot of pieces of silver being shared out and given out, but we will be loyal to the Democratic Party. I can tell you that straight up. But people frightened. Young people frightened. Because they'll affect their career, they got the tentacles long, you know. But no fear, young people. The Democratic Party will be here soon, very soon.
Jamal, are you seeing that fear that Ramon is seeing in the young people to come out and voice their concerns, or to even go in a different direction with this government?
I can be brutally honest too. Through canvassing, a lot of people do not feel comfortable in the situation they are, right? Especially the younger folks, right? But the real issue is that they're afraid to be victimized. You know, I had a constituent, I'm not going to call their name, who once told me recently, they would like to vote and think, but they feel like the government gonna know if they put them X the wrong place, that somebody inside can be able to see and tell. And I asked myself, like, where does notion even really come from? You know, like, why people got the belief that when you vote, the government gonna know who you vote for? And you know it leads back to the way this government does things. I can just leave that part there until further notice, until the date. But this is something that a lot of people have. I'm here to say that there's no way you can tell when you vote who you vote for. You know, but everybody else spectator can't see. Only you know where you put on that paper, where you put it on that paper, and once it go in the box, it will be tallied. You don't have your name, your signature, nothing on the paper. So please, don't feel for them any bell ring. When the time come out and vote, because you know you're uncomfortable in the situation and you want to get out. And voting is your only way of getting out of the situation.
Jamal, I want you to say that again. Now, when you put your X on that ballot, nobody knows who you voted for. Say that again for me, please.
Once again, wherever you put that X on that day, no one will be able to tell that it's you that put that X on that day. Only you would know. Not even I would know when you vote for me. So yes, that's the first thing I mentioned. The next thing I mentioned is this. As Ramon mentioned, you be asking sometimes people to come out and people will tell you no. You ask people to support and people will tell you no. And it's not because they don't want to. It's because they're also scared. They're also afraid that somebody can see them in the other shirt and want over it. You're working with them and then they may got no more job. You know, somebody can see them with you and want to get you to support them. And you know, they means a very sticky situation. All I can say is this. Sometimes you gotta go through the rough to get the greener pastures. And right now, this current administration of government is clearly not greener pastures. This administration right now is $300 here, and who knows what on election day. So that's what I would say on that matter. All I can say is this once again, people. You need to cast your fear aside, because when you are in fear, they lead. So what we need to do is stop being fearful and take the lead away from them and hand it into people that actually care about you and not say they do. So that is what I would say on this matter. As it relates to the young people, we are looking at crafting policies, giving opportunities, and helping you be able to be sustainable, not just paying rent but own a house. The government had the housing project. A lot of people would love to have some hope, no pun intended. Right? But you can't $50 million or more disappear. We can't see 60? 60 for what? We can't see where it going. We can't see where it going. But yet people living in galleries.
We abysmal when it comes to housing, but yeah.
You understand what this thing on this?
Yeah.
There's people in the constituency living in galleries. There's people in the constituency that the only way they eat is when they're surrounding people saying, like, my beef is John Brown. Let me just say John Brown, let's call him my neighbor. Let me get help he. Or let me come and help he. You understand? The job situation is something that terrifies a lot of people because you don't know where it's coming from. You don't know when you're going to get it, how long you're going to get it. Back in the day, you couldn't know you could get put on staff. Now you're hoping to get the signed contract. You know, and it's a very scary thing, but that is why I will always encourage the young people, if you can have a skill, implement your skill. Be a side hustle, work for yourself, ask any of the candidates to support you, any of the Democratic and Labour Party candidates to support you. Many of the other ones, they may not support you. So that's why we'll say we are crafting a solution, but we need your hands to help us. We need you to help us lead you forward. You know, and not be expecting that we have everything figured out. We don't have everything figured out, but we are working on it, and we will help you.
You know, sorry, just to add here, right? I always tell the younger people, because we young as well too, you know? A non-vote, not voting at all, is a vote for the same old same. Your vote is your voice.
Right.
Keep no noise.
And nothing changes if you do nothing.
Noise. If you don't vote, you're voting for the person who is currently in. Your vote is your voice. Come out and vote. Vote for change. Vote for change. If you don't vote, you're automatically voting for the same old same old.
Correct.
You know, and I would have communicated that to some younger people, and they stopped. They wanted to rebut. And they said, but pause.
Yeah, they
Pause.
see it now.
Yeah, they see it.
See it now.
They see it. It makes
Correct.
sense.
So when you don't vote, you are voting for the same old same old. I ain't got no voice. Your voice is. And I know young people like to keep enough noise. So keep enough noise, young people. Enough noise. Yeah, for sure.
Dale,
Enough noise.
Dale, I'm going to give you the final word. You have maybe about a minute or two. So I'm going to give you the final word.
Okay, so young people, do not let anybody buy your vote. Reason being, a person will come and say, my vote is $500, but divide that $500 by the 5-year term that person's spending. That person basically giving you $100 a year for a vote. Is that worth it? Do not sell your vote. Look at our current economy. Look at our crime situation. Look at our housing situation. Look at the cost of living. Numbers don't lie. So Barbados Labour Party can lie. But look at the facts. The proof is in the pudding.
They failed as a government. They failed. Yeah.
In addition to that, you know, Democratic Labour Party is the code. Yellow is the code. Blue is the code. Forget about the rest. You see the Barbados Labour Party? People, young people, I urge you from a standpoint where I am hurt every single day when I wake up and I see young black men or young black men in a crisis. And if we don't do something about it, it will not end. It will get worse. It will trickle all the way down. And all of us will be impacted by it. And all we will do is continue to create generational cycles. So, you know, with the Democratic Labour Party under the stewardship of Mr. Ralph Torn, I guarantee you we will come up with the solutions to help our people. The Barbados Labour Party has never, ever cared about our people. Ever in history.
Not people, not
you get me?
People, nah.
And also I want people to remember David beat Goliath. So all of the big Goliath, you know, that big Goliath now went home and cried after 25 years.
Yes, he did.
So that showed me, right, that there's hope.
Correct.
That showed me that people care about what is going on in their country. And we as Barbadians, we need to stand up. Because no longer we will accept, you get me, a one state government. It is not beneficial for you, the individual. Your vote is important because when you say, oh, I'm voting, you're actually voting. Because when you stay home, you're contributing to the same things and the cycle and the cycle and the cycle, and the cycle will never break. I believe, for me, if I'm going to vote, I'm going to vote for the individual and the policies that the party and that individual is bringing to my community. If you cannot bring something substantial to my community that will benefit, you know, the wider population, I think you're wasting your time. So don't let $500 or $1,000 or $5,000 let you sell your soul to the devil. Have a good night, everyone. Love you. Young people, support the Democratic Labour Party. Yellow is the code. Seats are moving.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if it's not obvious to those individuals who I say they have an agenda, right? It's been made very obvious tonight that this party is putting young people first. We are running young candidates who aren't persons who are just coming in it for themselves. They're in it for the people. They're about it for the service. It is above their own personal wants. It is about helping the people. And I've heard so much nonsense coming from individuals who they are in positions of power. They're positions in power in the media, and they are selling you a lie. This party is going nowhere. This party is not fractured. This party is together and has always been together for a long time now. And we believe that we are the only alternative to this failed government. Comrade Leader has promoted so much young people in this party because he believed that the youth
not promoted, empowered.
I like that deal. We have a voice. We have a voice. I've come into situations where that I had the skills and people try to.
Correct.
But I've come into a situation now where one person, a party, an institution said you have a voice here, and we believe that you have a purpose here. And they promoted, empowered, they empowered me, Dale, Jamal, and Ramon.
You're here.
And if that is not facts, then you're lying to yourself and you're lying to the people of Barbados, and you need to stop it. Because when we take this government, we're going to go back to the people's work. We're going to help the working class. We're going to take care of those persons who are living in poverty. Because right now, Bajans are suffering. They cannot afford to pay their bills. They can't afford to send their children to school, and they cannot afford to buy basic necessities such as food. And this government are the perpetrators of that. And when we come into government, we are going to change that. Believe that. Yellow is the code. Good night, people. Love you. And we'll see you again Thursday.
How you getting this? We all in this with Ralphie. Plus we all in this with Ralphie. Yeah, one vision, one people, one destiny. We all in this with Ralphie. We all in this with Ralphie. Yeah. Yeah. We all in this with Ralphie. Yeah, yeah. He crossed the floor, not for fame or glory. He crossed the floor to rewrite the story. The people vex, the country tight. Ralphie step up to set things right. From Christchurches to St. Lucie, everybody know he stand for we. He watch them laws, line by line. Yeah. He said follow the law, not the head lady. We all in this with Ralphie. We all in this with Ralphie. Yeah. We all in this with Ralphie. Yeah. One vision, one people, one destiny. We all in this with Ralphie. He crossed the floor to unite the country. So everybody sing in harmony. We all in this with Ralphie. Yes, we all in this with Ralphie. Hey, hey. Yes, we all in this with Ralphie. Hey, hey, hey. He said to the house, how you getting this? Watching the chaos, parliament in a twist. One member while another talk too fast. Ralphie step in makes sense last. The people laugh, they clap, they grin. Cause Ralphie sharp, he know how to win. The law and logic, he keep them tight. He bring order to the parliament fight. Hey, R-A-L-P-H-I-E. We all in this with Ralphie. R-A-L-P-H-I-E. Stand up tall for unity. He tell the PM you head the cabinet, not the state. So respect the law before it's too late. Illegal business done on the floor, not in your mind behind closed door. He cool, collected, full of class. He use the facts and bust up, she bubble fast. He shaking down falsehood, clean and neat. Ralphie drop logic on every seat. Tourism built it, build now this new move. Free movement by imagination to prove. No legislation to pass immigration gate. Yet you telling visitors come, citizens wait. Ralphie say hold on, let's get it straight. Law before limelight, check the man take. He watching close, he people clap. Cause Ralphie catching every trap. We all in this with Ralphie. We all in this with Ralphie. We all in this with Ralphie. One vision, one people, one destiny. We all in this with Ralphie. He crossed the floor to unite the country. Now everybody sing in harmony. We all in this with Ralphie. Yes, we all in this with Ralphie. We all in this with Ralphie. Yes, we all in this with Ralphie. We all in this with Ralphie. Yes, we all in this with Ralphie. Hey, hey, hey. We all in this with Ralphie. 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 Hey, hey, hey. When the bells start twist and spin, Ralphie stepping again. When imagination start run the stage, Ralphie pull it straight. Are you getting this? We all in this with Ralphie.